All right, so the assignments for this week, after you've gone through all the information in the first part of the PowerPoint slide and in the recording of it, the second part is the last two slides, and one is a reflection. So you can write this down and then post it on a discussion board in this week's folder for the week of April 27th. So you want to look and think about an autocracy is something that we often, through our lens of American culture, have thought of it as negative. But it has really, throughout history, played out in different ways, right? So autocracies can look very different from ancient Persia to the Maya, who we studied a little bit about, to indigenous Hawaii and pre-revolutionary Russia. So there are, like any forms of government or structures, there are advantages and disadvantages. So I want you to think through about the advantages or the benefits to individuals, like what would be a benefit if you lived in an autocracy, right? Where everything was decided for you, right? There could be some benefits to that. And how might that be harmful? So you kind of want to think about maybe some of our individual rights that you would not have in an autocracy. And then you also want to think about in the operation of a society, what would be some of the benefits to how things work and some of the harmful things. And a good way to maybe help you come up with some ideas is to think about the simulations we did at the beginning of the year where we were comparing legalism, which in a classroom would look more like an autocracy. And there were some people who really liked that legalism. Remember when I had you all in rows and I wouldn't let you talk and I, dictated pretty much everything you did. Whereas then the other one was Taoism, where I just gave you a very general assignment and I said, do it however you feel. So think about how some people really like the legalism, the more dictatorial approach than just doing whatever you want. So that might be a way to think of it. And then you can make your comments in our discussion and read what other people have to say. And the bigger assignment this week is a Quizlet. So if you look up here, there at the top, here is the link for you. So you can copy and paste this into your browser and there will be a set of cards. And I will hold on just a moment and I'll show you what it should look like. So it'll look like this. You'll get a stack of cards. There's 12 terms in it. You can go through them like flashcards and look at what their definitions are, right? Let's see, right? So that was showing you go to the next word, dictatorship, flip it over. There's an image. It tells you the definition. So I have all of these terms. Some of these terms are pretty close and it's hard to distinguish, so you really have to pay attention to the details. So you go through when the flashcard and make sure you feel really good with these terms. And then the next thing I recommend to do is this match game, because then you'll be given all these terms and you have to match the term with the image and the definition. So that would be like mandate of heaven there, and you would mark those up. So I'm going to exit that. And then the last game I would like you to play is not the game, but is the test here. And the beautiful thing about this is that you could type in the answers. Sometimes you have to look with the spelling. You can always look down here and it'll tell you how to spell different terms in it. There's some matching, multiple choice, and you can take this as many times as you like. And I would like you to tell me how well you do after taking it multiple times. You can tell me how accurate you are, and if you wanted to, how quickly you can do it. And we will be working off a Quizlet for the next few weeks, and then we might put all the terms together. And we'll have to figure out how to do the Quizlet live. I know some of you have done that in class for Spanish. I think there's a way you can do that remotely. So I will be figuring that out. And also, if you want to give me feedback on how well my Quizlet works, if you've done it before, if you have any better ideas, I'm open to that. So after you're done with your Quizlet and testing yourself, post your best scores, let me know, and any recommendations for improving on my part. And that is it for the week. Oh, and one last thing. I think I stated this at the beginning. If this goes too fast for you, you can also look at the PowerPoint extension about the Han Dynasty, which is authoritarianism put into practice by two different rulers they had, and how they didn't do it the same way. You want to see how did they apply authoritarianism, how did they stick to it in theory, and how were they different, and which one you think was better. All right, I will hopefully see you very soon. Bye.